Medical disclaimer. This article is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. Do not stop, cut, or change any medication without talking to your doctor first. Some of these drugs are dangerous to quit cold turkey. Always work with your healthcare provider. Picture this. You walk into the kitchen, you stop, you stare at the counter, and you have absolutely no idea why you came in here. You laugh it off. I'm just tired. I'm just getting older. But what if it wasn't age at all? What if the real reason your memory keeps slipping, the reason you forget names halfway through saying them, the reason yesterday feels like it happened through fog, is sitting in your medicine cabinet right now? A landmark study tracking nearly 285,000 adults found that one single class of common medications may be responsible for up to 10% of all dementia diagnoses in America. Another study showed long-term users faced a 54% higher risk of developing dementia, a risk that researchers warned may not go away even after stopping. These aren't rare drugs. They're not experimental. They are pills that millions of seniors take every single day. For allergies, for heartburn, for sleep, for anxiety, and for bladder control. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 7 of the biggest offenders. Not to scare you, but to give you the power to walk into your doctor's office this week and ask the right questions. Because knowledge doesn't just protect your wallet, it protects your mind. Number 1, bladder control medications, the memory thief nobody warned you about. You know that commercial, the one with the woman laughing at the picnic, not worried about leaks anymore? She's taking a drug called an anti-cholinergic. Say it with me, anti-cholinergic. These include popular prescriptions like Ditropan, which is oxybutynin, Detrol, which is tolterodine, and Vesicare, or solifenacin. Old-school muscle relaxers like Flexeril and antidepressants like amitriptyline are in this family too. Here's why they're so dangerous for your brain. These drugs work by blocking acetylcholine, a chemical messenger your brain uses to think, remember, and learn. Now here's the truly frightening part. Acetylcholine is the exact same chemical that Alzheimer's disease destroys. Taking these drugs is like pouring water on the fire your brain is trying to keep lit. Dr. Shelley Gray's landmark 2015 study followed over 3,400 seniors for 7 years. Heavy users of these drugs had a 54% higher risk of dementia and a 63% higher risk of Alzheimer's specifically. Brain scans showed actual shrinkage. Real measurable damage. A 2019 British study of nearly 285,000 people confirmed it. The more you take, the higher the risk. The American Geriatric Society now says these drugs should be avoided in adults over 65. What to ask your doctor? Is there a non-drug option for my bladder, like pelvic floor therapy or a newer medication called Myrbetriq? Number 2. Xanax, Ativan, Valium, the calm-down pills that could be scrambling your brain. Millions of seniors take these every day for anxiety, for sleep, for the low hum of worry that just won't quit. They're called benzodiazepines, or benzos, and they include household names like Xanax or alprazolam, Ativan or lorazepam, Valium or diazepam, Klonopin or clonazepam, and Restoril or temazepam. Here's how they work and why that's a problem. Benzos calm your brain by hitting the brakes hard. Think of your brain like a busy highway. Benzos flood the road with traffic cones. Everything slows down. You feel calm, you fall asleep. But here's the thing. Your brain cannot form new memories while those cones are out. Researchers call it anterograde amnesia. In plain English, the drug erases new memories as fast as your brain tries to make them. A massive BMJ study of nearly 9,000 seniors found that taking a benzo for more than 3 months raised Alzheimer's risk by 51%. More than 6 months of daily use pushed that number to 84%. A long-running French study found a 60% increase in dementia among new users. Even if dementia never happens, these pills roughly double your risk of falls and hip fractures. A broken hip at 70 can change everything. Critical warning, do not stop benzos on your own. Quitting cold turkey can cause seizures, delirium, and can be deadly. You need a slow, supervised taper. Talk to your doctor about CBTI, a therapy that beats sleeping pills at their own game. and ask about non-addictive options like buspirone. Number 3. Ambien, the harmless sleep pill the FDA had to issue a strongest level warning for. But my doctor said it was safer than Valium. We hear this all the time. And for years, that's what we all believed about Z-drugs, Zolpidem, which is Ambien, Esopiclone or Lunesta, and Zaloplan or Sonata. Then the FDA issued a boxed warning. That's the strongest warning the agency can give in April 2019. Why? Because patients on these drugs were getting up in the middle of the night, getting in their cars, and driving while still asleep. Some of them died, and nearly 93% of those who were injured while sleepwalking on these drugs were age 70 or older. The FDA also cut the recommended dose for women and seniors in half because the drug was staying in older bodies so long it was still impairing driving the next morning. A Taiwanese study of over 8,000 dementia cases found Ambien use was tied to a 33% higher risk of dementia. And the more someone took, the worse the risk. What to try instead? CBTI, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, has been shown in head-to-head studies to outperform sleeping pills with zero side effects. Low-dose melatonin and prescription options like Ramelteon are also far safer for seniors. Number 4, Benadryl and PM painkillers, the over-the-counter drug that's hiding in plain sight. This one catches people the most off guard because this isn't a scary prescription drug, it's Benadryl. And it's hiding in Tylenol PM, Advil PM, ZQuil, Simply Sleep, and most Unisom sleep gels. You probably have it in your bathroom right now. The active ingredient, diphenhydramine, scores a 3 out of 3 on the anti-cholinergic burden scale. That's the maximum score, the highest possible warning. It hits your brain like a wrecking ball when it comes to memory chemicals. Harvard Health has repeatedly warned seniors that this drug is linked to increased dementia risk when used regularly. Hospitalized seniors given Benadryl were found to have nearly double the risk of delirium. And research suggests the danger builds up after about 3 years of regular daily use. Like rust slowly eating through a pipe. Here's the sneaky part. Most people think of Benadryl as harmless because it's been on shelves forever. It's not a controlled substance. You don't need a prescription. So nobody thinks to question it. What to do? Check every PM product in your cabinet tonight. If diphenhydramine is on the label, put it down. Switch to second-generation antihistamines like Claritin or Loratadine, Zyrtec or Cetirizine, or Allegra or Fexofenadine. These barely cross into the brain. For sleep, talk to your doctor. Never use Benadryl as a nightly sleep aid. Number 5, OxyContin, Vicodin, and other opioid painkillers. The memory danger. Even pain doctors rarely mention. Nearly 1 in 8 Americans over 65 takes an opioid painkiller. That's millions of people, many of them managing real daily pain from arthritis, back injuries, cancer, or surgeries. And nobody's wrong for needing pain relief. But the brain risks are real, and they're getting harder to ignore. A major 2025 study published in Alzheimer's and Dementia looked at seniors with chronic pain who regularly use drugs like OxyContin or oxycodone, Vicodin or hydrocodone, tramadol, morphine, and fentanyl patches. Compared to seniors using non-opioid pain relief, these patients had a 20% higher risk of dementia overall and a 49% higher risk of vascular dementia specifically. Brain MRI scans showed actual shrinkage of the hippocampus. That's your brain's memory center, the part that records everything that happens to you. Think of it like the hard drive slowly corrupting. Strong opioids like morphine and fentanyl were the worst, linked to a 72% higher dementia risk and more than double the vascular dementia risk. A separate Danish study of nearly 1.9 million people confirmed the link builds with cumulative dose over time. Never stop opioids abruptly. The withdrawal is painful and dangerous. Instead, have an honest conversation with your doctor about physical therapy, topical pain relief like lidocaine patches, nerve pain medications like duloxetine, or targeted injections. The American Geriatric Society recommends acetaminophen, like Tylenol, as the first-line option for chronic pain in seniors. Number 6, Prilosec, Nexium, Prevacid, Your heartburn pill may be doing more than soothing your stomach. Here's a stat that stops people cold. A 2016 study of nearly 74,000 German seniors found that those regularly taking heartburn medications called PPIs, that's proton pump inhibitors, had a 44% higher risk of dementia. A 2023 analysis tracking seniors over many years found that using PPIs for more than 4.4 cumulative years raised dementia risk by 33%. These medications include some of the most recognized names in the pharmacy aisle: Prilosec or omeprazole, Nexium or esomeprazole, Prevacid or lansoprazole, and Pertonix or pantoprazole. And about half of everyone taking them is over 65. To be fair, the science here is more mixed than the other drugs on this list. Several large studies found no dementia link. But here's what is not disputed. Long-term PPI use depletes vitamin B12 at an alarming rate. A 2013 JAMA study showed users had a 65% higher rate of B12 deficiency after just 2 years. And B12 deficiency, the kind that sneaks up quietly, can cause memory loss, confusion, and brain fog that looks exactly like early dementia. What to do? Ask your doctor, do I actually still need this? Many seniors started a PPI after a hospital stay or short-term ulcer and simply never stopped. Don't quit abruptly. Rebound acid is brutal. Step down gradually to famotidine, like Pepcid. Get your B12 level checked. And explore diet changes, like eating smaller meals and not lying down for 2 hours after eating. Number 7, Lipitor, Crestor, Zocor, the most controversial entry on this list, and what the science actually says. You've probably heard people say statins destroy your memory. You've probably also heard your cardiologist say, that's nonsense. Who's right? Here's the truth, and it's more nuanced than either side admits. In February 2012, the FDA did add a cognitive warning to all statin labels. Lipitor or atorvastatin, Crestor or rosuvastatin, Zocor or simvastatin, and others, after reports of patients experiencing confusion and memory lapses shortly after starting the drug. In most cases, symptoms reversed within about 3 weeks of stopping. So the reports are real. But here's the plot twist. The weight of the larger evidence goes in the opposite direction. Major randomized trials, some involving over 20,000 participants, found no cognitive decline compared to placebo. And a 2022 analysis of 36 studies found statin users actually had a 20% lower dementia risk and a 32% lower Alzheimer's risk, likely because statins prevent strokes, which are one of the leading causes of dementia. The bottom line, if you notice memory changes after starting a statin, tell your doctor immediately. But do not quit on your own, especially if you've had a heart attack or stroke. Stopping raises your risk of a fatal cardiac event. Ask about switching to a different type of statin, lowering your dose, or ruling out the other 6 medications on this list first. They are far more likely to be the memory thieves. Your game plan, what to do this week. Here's the good news in all of this. You are not powerless, not even close. The single most effective thing you can do right now is a brown bag review. Put every pill, every supplement, every OTC bottle into a bag and bring it to your doctor or pharmacist. Then ask these 3 questions. Do I still need this? Is there a safer option for someone my age? And what is my total anti-cholinergic burden? Ask specifically if your medications follow the American Geriatric Society Beers criteria. That's the gold standard checklist of medications older adults should typically avoid. If you take 5 or more medications, and about 40% of seniors do, you are exactly the person this review was designed for. Memory loss after 60 is not simply getting older. For millions of seniors, it is the entirely predictable side effect of medications that were never designed for long-term use in an aging brain. The research is clear. The alternatives exist, and the conversation with your doctor, the one that could change everything, costs you absolutely nothing. Have it this week. Your future self is counting on it. Please reread the disclaimer at the top of this article before making any changes to your medication.